Oh no! Crashed it! So unfortunately crashing is an inevitable part of flying. And so what I'm talking about today is what we can do to try and find it again. And we'll go through the various things and the tools we have. So the first thing to do is check with your spotter. Hopefully you've got a spotter. If you can, they're really useful because it's quite a big field. I'm not sure where it was. Fortunately, I've got a spotter on hand, so let's see where the quad is. So, where'd the quad go?
What?
The quad I was flying.
Which quad?
There's always a chance that your spotter may have been distracted, or is just bone idle, or is a teenager in the making. In which case, we go with plan B, which is using the tools we have in order to get it back. So the first thing is don't be tempted to turn your radio off or take your goggles off, because we're going to need these. What we might want to do is pack up our stuff, because if we're going to go for a walk and we haven't got anybody left here, we don't just want to leave it for the animals or people to grab hold of. So let's pack up, let's get the backpack on and get stuff ready to go search. Okay, so we're packed up, ready to begin our search. The first thing I'm going to use is my Tyrannis here. Now, if you're not using a telemetry system, you should really get one. What we have on screen is our RSSI count. This infers, of course, that the battery is still plugged in, but basically, as we move towards the quad, the RSSI should go up. If it goes down, you're probably moving away from the quad. Okay, other issues. What if you haven't got a telemetry receiver? What else have you got? If you notice on my head here, I've got a helical out. It's a 5-turn helical, which makes it reasonably directional. So what I'm going to do now, if I'm turning, I've got picture and then vaguely solid picture there. Looks pretty good in this direction. That's about the strongest. Kind of pointing downwards a bit. Maybe if we pick it, oh, that's better. Pick it up and it's better. Yeah, but I'm finding this way is best. So we're going to go out this direction.
Okay.
And what we'll do is we'll take a look at the RSSI as well and see what's going on. So of course another thing everybody should have is a beeper on their quad. Mine's set up on this switch, but if we flick it now, can't hear anything. So if you're too far away, beeper's not great. But what you should find is as you get closer, you can use it to really pin that down. We're walking along now. The RSSI still in the 50s, still pretty low. Of course, if your quad is on the floor, it means the RSSI will be low until you get closer. So hopefully we've got the direction vaguely from the helical, and as we get closer, we'll be able to use the beeper, or we'll be able to use the RSSI indicator to really pin that down a bit better. Okay, still that way. RSSI value is definitely starting to increase more here. This is like a weird game of am I colder, am I hotter? Oh, good picture all the way there. Getting a fairly good picture all the way through now, which suggests we're quite close. So let's check the beeper again.
I can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Finally, the spotter can do something. Seems like we're nearly there. Our RSSI indicator is strongly in the 60s now. Oh yeah, 68.
I found it!
Is she useful already?
I'm so smart!
Yeah, look. In the latter stages, of course, RSSI will be massive. And you can hear our beeper. And its RSSI is good now.
I found it all by myself. I just used my brain.
How do you rate yourself as a spotter?
10 out of 10.
So, the beeper is very handy if it's in like bushes and stuff. But also another thing you should consider is definitely the LED lights. Even though they don't show up brilliantly in the light we've got here, you'd be surprised how well they do show up in grass, or basically if it's in, you know, that sort of bushes and stuff. A lot easier than not having one, let's put it that way. Okay, so that rescue was made fairly easy by the fact that the battery was on and we knew vaguely where it was, and plus I pretended to crash it next to this post. All this made it pretty easy, but these are the things I've done lots of times when I've actually put it down on the floor. But of course there's situations where your battery is going to be ejected, and most of those things you're not going to be able to use. So what do you do then? First is get in a habit of recording all your flights, even ones where you're just going around a field, because if it loses control, it goes out somewhere and you're not sure exactly where it was. You'll want to re-watch the footage, go over it and try and figure out if you can find its trajectory. So get used to working the controls. If you've got it built in the Fat Sharks, brilliant. If you're using some sort of standalone DVR, make sure you absolutely know how to work the controls, so in the field you can go through and you can look at the footage, you can work out your landmarks. Here I've got trees, got a corner field, I've obviously got this post here, but this is kind of a little bit set up, as you know. But if you can do that, there's a good chance you can at least narrow down your search area. Of course, if you still can't recover your quad and you can't find it, then don't forget everything should be labelled with an email address, a telephone number. I've already done a video on this. Put an SD card, well obviously you'll have an SD card in your HD camera. Put a video of yourself explaining who you are, your contact details, because the amount of times you'll have a camera flying off, which will be difficult to find, is quite high. Anyway, I hope that helps you, and I will see you next time. Bye from my spotter.